Ohio. Calcutta, the city in the delta of Ganges in the east of India, the capital of the state of West Bengal, the second in area city in India after Mumbai and the fourth in population city in India after Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. As of 2011, the population of the city makes 4,486,679 people, city agglomeration minus 14,112,536. The third place among city agglomerations of India. At the time of the British Dominion, Calcutta was the capital of all British India up to 1911, thanks to what nowadays it is the large centre of education, science, culture and policy. On the other hand, in the city such problems as poverty, air pollution and traffic jams take place. The city received the name from the village of Calcutta, on which place British began construction of the new capital. There are several theories of origin of a word. It agrees one of them, Calicut, designates the plain goddess Kali. Other explanations connect Calicut with the flat plain Calcutta. Production in this place of not extinguished lime, Clinton and Kata, and the Dagat Channel. Earlier official name of the city was written in English as Calcutta, that brought in many languages to incorrect reading Calcutta. Since January 1, 2001, the local government decided to change writing of the city to Kolkata, that corresponds to the Bengalese pronunciation of the name more better. On July 30, 2001, the law which approved new writing was adopted. Territories adjacent to Calcutta were populated more than 2 millennia ago, what archaeological excavations of the village of Chandraketugarh testify to. Nevertheless, modern settling began only in 1690, with the arrival of the British East Indian Company, which was engaged in trade with Bengal. Traditionally, the employee of the company, Job Charnock, was considered as the founder of Calcutta. There are also other points of view according to which the city existed before arrival of the British. On May 16, 2003, the Supreme Court of Calcutta based on the report of the Scientific Commission, decided that on the place of Calcutta long before arrival of Europeans there was an important shopping center. The court decided that Charnock shouldn't be considered the founder of Calcutta and ordered to the government to delete his name from all textbooks and official documents connected with the history of the city. The Western historians, however, reject similar historical revisionism. In the territory of modern Calcutta at the end of the 17th century, 3 villages, Calcutta, Gobindapur, were located in Sutanadi. Calcutta represented the fishing small village. In Gobindapur there lived mainly weavers. This territory was a part of the Empire of Great Mughals, which was operated by Zamindara landowners from family Sabarna Roy Chodkari. On November 10, 1698, the rights for management of this area were given to British. In 1712, British finished construction of a Fort William on the bank of one of inflows of Ganges of Hooghly. Because of frequent armed clashes with the French troops, in 1756 the British carried out a number of fortification works on strengthening of a fort. At the same time, the Nawab of Bengal of Suraj of Udal condemned militarization and evasion from taxes on the party of the British East Indian Company. His discontent was ignored, then military operations were begun. The fort was taken, the most part of defenders is destroyed. This incident became history under the name of the Calcutta Black Hole, by forces of hired soldiers of the British East Indian Company. An active armed forces under Robert Clive's command. Next year British occupied Calcutta again. According to the Allahabad Peace Treaty signed after defeat of forces of the Padishah of the Empire of Great Mughals, Nawabs of Bengal and Adat Buxar, the right for management and collection of taxes from the population of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa was reserved for the East Indian Company. For Great Mughals the nominal power over these territories remained. In 1772 Calcutta becomes the capital of the British possession in India. In 1793 Nawabs finally lose even the formal power over Bengal. British carry out a complex of works on drainage of swamps around Calcutta. Especially there is a lot of for development of the city and its architecture the Governor-General Richard U.S. Lee made. Also Calcutta becomes the center of trade in opium. In 1863 the Governor-General of India John Lawrence made the decision on transfer of the summer capital of the British India to the city of Shimla, more comfortable for British. To the middle of the 19th century Calcutta actually was divided into two separate parts. English, known also as the White City, with the center in the field of the area Chowringhee and Dalhousie Square in Indian. The Black City, in the north of the megalopolis. At the beginning of the 1850th years rapid growth of the city, especially textile and jute industry was noted. The British companies constructed telegraph and the railway station. Merge of the English and Indian cultures led the woman, which was represented by people from the highest castes, to emergence of a new class of Hindus, led a city life, held highly paid positions and mainly were Anglophiles. In the second half of the 19th century the Bengalese Renaissance, which led to increase of socio-cultural tension among residents of Calcutta, began. In 1893 in the city the Congress of the Indian National Association, the first conventional nationalist organization in India, took place. Calcutta becomes the center of the revolutionary organizations supporting independence of India of British. The British in 1905 made an unsuccessful attempt to divide Bengal into two parts. It led to disorders and emergence of the movement of Swadesha, which assumed boycott of the imported goods. These phenomena, along with inconvenient arrangement of Calcutta as main town of the British India, forced British to transfer in 1911 the capital to New Delhi. Calcutta and its port were exposed to several bombings from Japanese during World War II. The first of them happened on December 20, 1942, the last on December 24, 1944. The combination of military and natural factors led to hunger of 1943, during which several million people died. In 1946 in the city there were religious disorders during which more than 4,000 people died. The partition of India in 1947 led to further collisions. Muslims emigrated to East Pakistan, modern Bangladesh, while Hindus fled Pakistan to Calcutta. In 1960, the 1970th years, the acute shortage of food, a strike and action of the Marxist and Maoist movement of Naxalit led to destruction of infrastructure of the city and its economic stagnation. In 1971, during the War of Independence of Bangladesh from Pakistan to Calcutta, the great number of refugees moved. Against the background of the taking place events, in the 1980th years Calcutta loses the status of the most inhabited city of India. In 1985 the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, in the light of socio-political problems of Calcutta, calls it the dying city. From 1977 to 2011 Calcutta and West Bengal the Left Front operated, in which the main role is played by the Communist Party. Thus the regional government in Calcutta became history as the most long government of communists elected in the democratic way. Restoration of Calcutta began from 1990th years when India undertook a number of economic reforms on liberalization of economy. In the old years information technology development promoted the intensive growth of city economy. Also in the city increase in production began to be noted. Calcutta is in East India, in the delta of Ganges, at the height from 1.5 to 9 meters above sea level. The main part of the city initially represented the marshland. Many decades were required to adapt these territories for life. Remained not drained swamps in east part of Calcutta occupy the territory in 12500 hectares and are recognized as the Ramarski Convention, having the international value. As well as in all territory of the Indo-Gangetic Plain, the soil in Calcutta alluvial. Deposits of the Quaternary period consist of clay, silt and sand and are between two layers of clay, the lowermost of which lies down at a depth from 250 to 650 meters, and top from 10 to 40. According to Bureau of the Indian Standards, the city is in a seismodangerous zone and has assessment of 3 of 5. Calcutta with suburbs occupies more than 1886 km. Calcutta has tropical climate with an average annual temperature of 26.3 C. Average monthly temperatures change from 19 C to 30 C. Summer hot and damp with temperatures about 30 C. In the winter of temperature about 9-11 C can fall. The highest ever the recorded temperature makes 45 C, the lowest 3 C. On average, the hottest month of year, May, the coldest, January. Average annual level of rainfall is 1781, his most part is brought by southwest monsoons. The highest level of rainfall is noted in July, 377. According to a general census of 2011, in the metropolitan area of Calcutta, which occupies the space of 185 km, 4,486,679 people live. In 10 years the number of inhabitants decreased by 1.88%. 899 women are the share of 1,000 men. This ratio is connected with the fact that to Calcutta come only man's earnings from the neighboring rural areas, both West Bengal and Orissa, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Literacy level in the city is 2011 years higher all Indian. 87.14% of and 74%. The population of all city agglomeration in 2011 made 14,112,536 people. Most of the population is made by Bengalese. Also a number of ethnic minorities, such as Chinese, Tamils, Nepalese, Aryas, Telugu, Assamese, Gujaratis, Armenians, Greeks, Tibetans, Marathi, Konkani, Malal, Parsa, Punjabis, etc. live in the city. The number of the Armenians living in Calcutta, Greeks and Jews for the 20th century considerably decreased. Before the Two World War, 5,000 Jews lived in the former capital of the British India. However, after creation of Israel, the Jewish community considerably decreased. For 2013, 25 Jews lived in Calcutta. In east part of Calcutta, the Chinese city, which once totaled 20,000 Chinese, is located. By 2009, their quantity in the city decreased up to 2,000 owing to repatriation during the Chinese-Indian War of 1962 and also immigration to the cities with the best social and economic conditions. The Chinese community traditionally worked in the tanning industry and restaurant business. In Calcutta, official language of the state Bengalese prevails. English is used by generally highly paid white collars. In Hindi, Urdu and other languages an insignificant part of the population of the city talks. Most of the population professes Hinduism, about 20% Islam. In comparison with other big cities of India, crime rate in Calcutta low. In 2010 in the city, 117.3 crimes on 100,000 of the population at an average across India were committed. 187.6. 1.5 million inhabitants live in slums, 14% are below the poverty line. For 2003, a third of all population of the city, about 1.5 million people, lived in slums. Officially registered slums of Calcutta with existence of water supply, the sewerage and garbage removal by municipal services of Calcutta can be divided conditionally into two groups: busties, in which inhabitants have certain long-term leases with landowners, and Adbastu colonies intended for refugees from the Republic of Bangladesh. Unauthorized, the authorities of a slum with lack of water supply are located along channels, railway tracks and the main roads. For 2006, below the poverty line there were 14% of the population. In 1979, Mother Teresa got Nobel Peace Prize for creation and a job in the Sisters, a Missionarka of Love organization in Calcutta, which purpose was a care of the disadvantaged. Calcutta, the largest economic and financial center of all northeast India. There is the Calcutta Stock Exchange, the second largest in the country. As well as in other large cities of India, since 1990th years the sector of information technologies quickly grows. Calcutta serves as the headquarters for many industrial companies of the country, among them its Limited and India Government Mint, Kolkata Haldia Petrochemicals, Exide Industries, Hindustan Motors, Britannia Industries, Bata India, Birla Corporation, Sesk Limited, Repub Group, Texmaco Limited, Bengalambuya, Philips India, Eveready Batteries, Coal India Limited, Damodar Valley Corporation, Pune India and Peerless Group. It is large bank and financial center. The city is the headquarters of such banks as Allahabad Bank, UCO Bank and United Bank of India. The city remains the important center of the industry. Here the enterprises of such industries as steel making, machine building, including production of electronics, cement, pharmaceutical, food, textile are placed. As of 2005, the gross internal product of Calcutta made $94 billion. By 2009, this indicator increased up to $162 billion, the third among the Indian cities. Mobile communication in the city is provided by the state company BSL and private operators. Vodafone, Airtel, Reliance Communications, Uninor, Idea Cellular, Aircel, Tata Docomo, Tata Indicom and Virgin Mobile, Access to the broadband internet is provided with the companies Cell, Tata Indicom, Sci-Fi, Airtel, Reliance and Alliance. Public transport of Calcutta includes the subway, the system of the suburban railroads, buses and trams. This city is well connected by the railroads to other regions of the country. In Calcutta there is headquarters of East and Southeast zones of the Indian railroads. The suburban railroads connect the city to the neighboring districts. Northern 24 Pargana, Southern 24 Pargana, Nadia, Hora, Hooghly. Besides, Calcutta is surrounded by the circular railroad. The Calcutta subway, the first in India, was opened in 1984, is constructed with technical assistance of the USSR. The system includes one line stretched from the south on the north along the Hooghly River on 28 km. Besides, several lines of the subway are in a stage of construction and development. There is a developed system of bus routes. The state bus companies include Calcutta State Transport Corporation, CST, South Bengal State Transport Corporation, SBETS, West Bengal Surface Transport Corporation, ONST. Calcutta, the only city in India which kept the system of tram lines. The shortage of roads and convenient transport connections is an important problem of the city and serves as the reason of numerous traffic jams. The international airport of Netoshi Subhas Chandra IM barefoot in the town of the Dumas accepts both the international and local flights. He is located approximately in 17 km from the center of Calcutta. Calcutta, the largest seaport of East India in spite of the fact that it is in 148 km from the sea. To the port have an opportunity to come the ocean ships. Calcutta is known for the literary and art heritage. Being the capital of the British India, it became the birthplace of modern Indian literatures and arts. It was called the city of furious creative energy and the cultural capital of India. Feature of the city are couples, quarters which residents make certain communities. Usually a couple has own club and the platform for sports activities. The local form of communication, anada, represents a slow intellectual conversation on the most various subjects. The architecture of Calcutta differs in the variety. Many buildings are built in Indo-Islamic and Indo styles. A row from them others are announced by monuments of architecture, not included in this list, gradually collapse. The most known buildings of Calcutta are the Indian Museum, Marble Palace, a memorial of Victoria, National Library and the Science Museum founded in 1814. The Indian Museum, the oldest in the country. In them there are exhibits of the Indian art and natural sciences. Marble Palace represents an example of the classical European mansion which were built in colony by British. In a memorial of Victoria, the museum of the city is located. National Library and the Science Museum of Calcutta, the biggest in the country. Native of Calcutta, Nobel Prize laureate on literature of 1913 Rabindranath Tagore. From 1988 years classical theatres of Calcutta lose the popularity. Their place is taken by amateur troupes which talk with the most various statements about socially important topics. Inhabitants of Kupal Shitpur traditionally specialize in the theatrical direction of art of Adat, representing musical dancing representation. Calcutta is also the center of cinema of West Bengal. The term Tollywood appeared in 1932 from merge of names of Hollywood and the district of Calcutta of Tollygunga, where most studios of Bengal was located. The referral of the film industry created in and was got by the name of parallel cinema in, which isn't designed for a wide audience, differs in the realism, a sight on social and political problems. The brightest representatives of cinema from Calcutta is the winner of the Oscar of 1992 for Outstanding Merits in Cinema Satyajit Ray, film directors Ritvik Ghotak, Mrinal Singh, Rituparna Ghosh, Tapan Singh, Aparna Singh and Budakib Dasgupta. In the 19th-20th centuries, the Bengalese literature is connected with names of Ishvar Vidyasagar, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyaya, Madhusudana Datta, Rabindranath Tagore, Qazi Nasrul Islam, Sarat Chandra Chattopadhyaya. Together with social reforms Ramazan of Roy and Swami Vivekananda, their activity became an integral part of the Bengalese revival. In the second half of the 20th century, postmodernism literature develops. Parents, Ahangrealism and small magazines are connected with Calcutta. Most publishing houses of the city are located in the field of College Street. This street represents concentration of bookstores and benches in which sell both the new and read books. In Calcutta in the 19th century there was a style of painting Callicut who represents both mythological and household subjects. In 1864 in Calcutta the College of Arts and Crafts was opened, which left subsequently outstanding artists, such as Abanandranath Tagore, Dharmini Roy and Nandanal Boas. The college became the birthplace of the Bengalese School of Art, which was a part of nationalist movement of the academism assuming withdrawal from traditions. The Academy of the Fine Arts of Calcutta regularly holds art exhibitions. The city is known for the addiction to songs by Tagore and the Indian classical music. The Bengalese music includes ballads of trunks, which in 2005 were included in the list of masterpieces of oral and non-material cultural heritage UNESCO, a form of religious chants. From 1990th years in the city also the modern directions of musical art develop. The most important elements of regional cuisine of Calcutta relating to the Bengalese cuisine are rice and fish curry. Machar jol, which can be complemented with such desserts as Roshagolla, known for sandesh, and sweet yogurt as Mishti Dohi. The city is niche for various seafood, among which special fame was gained by fish dishes. The street fast food offering Beguni dishes. The fried eggplant slices. Katie roll. Beaters from flat cakes with vegetable or meat fillers. Is popular. Foodka. Strongly fried thoroughly pancake with tamarind sauce. And also various variations on Chinese cuisine. The large role in food of citizens is played by sweets. The main holiday for Calcutta is Durga Puja. In the city also celebrate the Bengalese New Year on April 15, religious holidays of Eid Diwali, Vasant Panchama and Eid al-Fitr, Khair, Christmas and Rath-Yatra. Annually in the capital of West Bengal the International Book Festival, a festival of the Indian classical music, the International Film Festival, a National Theatre Festival and also Rally of Retro Cars are held. Education. Calcutta serves as the house for 17 universities and institutes. Among them it is possible to note the Calcutta University, It is founded in 1857. Alaya University, Jadavpur University, Indian Institute of Management Calcutta, West Bengal State University, West Bengal University of Technology, etc. As training language at schools is used English and Bengali, also Urdu is sometimes used. In Calcutta, the biggest library of the country, National Library of India, is located. Massachusetts media. The newspapers, most widespread in Calcutta, on Bengalese. Anandabazar Patrika, Bartaman, Sangbad Pratidin, Yaga Bangla, Ikal, Dainik Statesman, Kinashot. Newspapers in English. Times of India, Hindustan Times, The Hindu, The Indian Express, The Statesman, The Telegraph and Asian Age. There are business daily newspapers, The Economic Times, The Financial Express, Business Line and Business Standard. Vindisky Radio, the national broadcasting station, carries out broadcasting in Calcutta on several AM waves, 12 FM radio stations. From them two also belong to Vindisky Radio. Also here work the Indian State Television Company, Doordarshan, provides in the territory of the city reception of 2 free TV channels, while a set of the private TV channels broadcasting in English, Bengalese, Hindi, are available through cable networks, satellite reception and an internet subscription. The most popular sports: cricket and soccer. On April 12, 2004 in Calcutta, the game first in the history took place. Calcutta, the most football city of the country, the most eminent Indian football clubs among which there is Mohun Bagan FC, Kingfisher East Bengal FC, Prayag United SC, and Mohammedan Sporting Club are based here. The Football League of Calcutta, founded in 1898, the oldest football league in Asia. The city is known for the capacious stadiums, so Salt Lake Stadium, also known as Yuva Bharati Krangan, for 2010 was the second in capacity football stadium of the world. 120,000 people. Sites. This city architecture includes buildings in Gothic, Romance, Baroque, East and Indo-Islamic styles. The Indian Museum, founded in 1814, one of the oldest in Asia, has a big collection of objects of history and art of India. One of the main attractions of Calcutta is the Memorial of Victoria, the architectural composition devoted to the Queen Victoria. Temple of the Goddess Kali. Indian Museum. Maiden. Fort William Street. Paul's Cathedral. Stadium of the Indian Youth. Memorial of Victoria. Temple of the Goddess Kali. National Library of India. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.